Hey there! If you're looking for some help with rent, a mortgage, or maybe even buying a home in 2026, you are in the right place. So let's jump right into this practical guide on housing grants.
Look, we all know how stressful housing costs can be. It doesn't matter if it's that monthly rent payment or a mortgage that feels like it's looming over you. It's a huge financial weight for millions of people.
But here's the thing. What if I told you there are literally billions of dollars set aside to help? That's not an exaggeration. It's a massive amount of financial aid, but so many people who could use it never even apply, a lot of the time just because they don't know it's out there.
So let's start with the absolute basics. What are we even talking about when we say housing grants? Getting this down is the first real step to getting the help you might need.
It's actually pretty simple. A housing grant is just financial aid paid for by the government that's specifically meant to help people with their housing costs. That's it. It's not some kind of trick, it's a resource.
And this is the most important part, the real game changer. A grant is not a loan. I'll say that again. It is not a loan. It's money you do not have to pay back. You're not taking on new debt here.
So, what can you use this money for? Well, a lot actually. It covers things like rental assistance to help you stay in your home, down payment assistance if you're trying to buy, or even money for essential home repairs. Some grants can also help with utility bills or provide emergency housing aid if you're in a crisis.
Okay, so now that you know what these grants are, let's get to the most important part, the action plan. We're going to break down exactly how to apply step by step. All right, step one. Before you do anything else, you have to find legitimate, real programs. This is probably the most critical step, honestly, because it's where a lot of people get confused, or worse, run into scams.
Yeah, it's the big question, right? There's so much junk out there online. Where do you even start looking to find the official programs?
Okay, this slide breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you have what to look for. Stick to official government websites, the ones that end in .gov. Also, check your state and county government portals. A simple search like Your State plus Housing Grants 2026 is a great starting point. Now, on the right is what you need to avoid. Any site that asks you to pay a fee is a scam. Any site that promises guaranteed approval, run. And be very, very skeptical of grant offers you see on social media.
Okay, so let's say you found a program that looks promising. Great. Now it's time for step two, getting all your documents ready. Being prepared here is going to save you so much time and frustration. Most programs are going to ask for a pretty standard list of things. You'll definitely need a government ID, some proof of income like pay stubs or tax returns, your lease or mortgage statement, and probably some recent bank statements. And if you're applying because of a specific problem, like a job loss, you might need documentation for that too.
And I really can't stress this enough. The number one reason that applications get delayed or even denied is because something was missing. So please, take your time, double-check everything, and make sure your application is complete before you hit submit.
All right, you found a program, you've got all your documents together. Now it's time for the final part of the process, actually submitting your application and, this is key, following up.
So the process itself is usually pretty straightforward. You'll submit your application, usually online. As soon as you do, save that confirmation number somewhere safe. Then just keep an eye on your email. If they ask for more information, you need to respond as quickly as you can. After that, it's a waiting game, usually between 30 and 90 days for decision.
Okay, we're almost done, but this next part is your safeguard. I want to quickly go over the most common mistakes people make so you can make sure to avoid them.
First up, mistake number one. This sounds so obvious, but you'd be amazed how often it happens. People miss the deadline. These programs have strict cutoffs, and the funding is almost always limited. If you miss the deadline, you miss your chance, period.
Next, mistake number two. Remember what we just said about follow-ups? If the housing agency emails you asking for something, that's a good sign. It means they're actively working on your application. If you ignore that email, the whole process just stops cold.
And yep, we are coming back to this one because it is just that important. Let me be crystal clear, a real government grant program will never, ever ask you to pay a fee to apply. If anyone asks you for money or offers a guarantee, it is a scam. Full stop.
All right, that was a lot of information. So let's bring it all home and boil it down into the most important takeaways that you need to remember. Here are 4 final pieces of advice. First, apply early. The money runs out. Second, apply to every single program you think you qualify for. Don't just pick one. Third, keep copies of everything, digital, paper, whatever you can. And last, remember that even a little bit of help, even partial assistance, can be an absolute lifesaver.
And at the end of the day, that's really what it all comes down to. The financial help is there, but you have to go out and get it. The key is knowing where to look, how to prepare, and how to follow through correctly. So the only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?